Hey guys, so tonight I'm going to be doing a life update. I filmed this once before, and when I transferred it over, it said the file was encrypted. I'm not sure that, oh my goodness. I don't think I'm ever going to get my laptop fixed. Like, it doesn't feel like it doesn't look like it, I don't know. So I'm going to film this again and try to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. Let's go. I haven't done a video in quite some time now, and there's been multitudes of reasons. One being I haven't felt like it. I haven't made time for it. It hasn't been in my priorities. There's been things going on in our lives I've been waiting to see how they play out and kind of, what all is going to happen, like with Abrielle and her therapy. So I want to touch about a little bit of that, and at some time later I'll try to make a more detailed update about Abrielle and what all is going on with her and stuff. But essentially, what is going on is she has been diagnosed with sensory processing disorder on one front, and she now has speech once a week, and she has occupational therapy once a week, and it's on the same day, and they're back-to-back sessions at the same place, just with a different therapist. And her OT's name is Kelly, and we love her. She's great. Abrielle loves her. Abrielle's still seeing Patty for speech, and it's going good. Patty, she told us a while back that it usually takes about 6 months to see an improvement in a child, and it's been about 6 months now, and Abrielle is starting to make some improvements. She's gained a few new words. She's got 2 sentences now where she has, 4 months ago she didn't have any. She says ready, set, go, and she says I go. Which, not a perfect sentence, I go, but it's a sentence, it's a phrase, it's something, it's an improvement. So she's got a few words, and sign language wise, I know she knows more signs than she uses. My daughter is very strong-willed, and she wants to do it her way. That's just the bottom line. Abrielle needs it her way, and I think part of that is just being 2, and then I think part of it is the fact that she's got a really stubborn mommy and a really stubborn daddy too. So there's that. So that's like what's going on with her speech and her OT, and her OT is going good. OT is it's like playtime for Abrielle, like intense playtime. When she comes home from OT on Wednesdays and ST, she's just, for a few hours, she's so much more calm. So we've been trying to do as much DIY and at-home therapy as we can possible. I have flashcards that we do, and we do sensory activities, just things like that. But at the same time, it's hard to do that because Abrielle isn't my only child. Like, I can't focus all my time on her because I still have Evangeline, and I'm still in school and things like that. So it's been hard trying to find a balance for getting Abrielle as much at-home therapy and at-home work as she needs, and balancing out everywhere else. So that's what's been going on there. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this in one of the last updates I did with Abrielle's speech and stuff updates, but she did meet with the developmental psychologist. We did go through that, and it was 3 appointments separately. The first one was paperwork, the second one was the evaluation, and then the third one was the results. We got the results at the beginning of December, and essentially it was neither negative nor positive. We got told basically that they cannot confirm nor can they deny that Abrielle has autism. Some of her scores fell within a concerned range, and then some were in a normal, and her scores were just inconclusive. It was not enough to judge. Like right now, currently, Abrielle is still hanging on enough into the normal side of most things to not be considered on the spectrum, if that makes any sense. But that also doesn't mean that in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, that they can't retest her and get a different result, a more firm result. I don't know how certain result. That's a better way to word it. So basically what we got told was, for right now, keep doing speech, keep doing occupational therapy, and when it's time for her to start school, if she is still behind, if she keeps falling behind, then we will need to have her re-evaluated. So the results for the autism evaluation was not what we wanted to hear. We were hoping for clean, clear results that said absolutely nowhere on the spectrum, not even close, and instead what we got is close to being on the spectrum, possibly on the spectrum, don't know yet if it's just she's kind of behind for whatever reasons or if she's really autistic. So that was hard, and it's still hard, and it's still something that we're processing. And you know, we haven't exactly shared all the details with all of our family, because some of our family is pretty supportive and some of our family is just in outright denial that anything is wrong with Abrielle. And you know, obviously whatever it is not something that's like life threatening, and it's not going to dictate her life. I mean, obviously it hasn't impaired her intelligence, it's just it's making other areas of her life more difficult for her, and that's what hurts as a parent, is watching her struggle. And at times I feel like, you know, Abrielle is just trapped inside, and I see her mouth open, I see these words form on her mouth in therapy, of the flashcards and stuff, the sounds, and it's just, it's there, it's right there, but there's nothing coming out, there's no voice, there's no sound, and she just gets so frustrated and upset, and it just leads to these temper tantrums and stuff. It's a hard thing all around. And so that's part of the reason that I've been quiet there, is because I was waiting to get those results and they weren't what I hoped they would be. You know, I'm not saying that like autism is the worst thing that could ever happen to her, but and I'm thankful that she's alive and everything. I don't want any of this to sound ungrateful, but at the same time, I don't think any parent ever wants to be told that your child has some kind of a disorder or a disability or anything like that. That's not anything any parent wants to hear, is all I'm trying to say, which is it's just, I guess it just is what it is. So like I said, I was just waiting for answers, and those weren't the answers I was waiting for, really. So we're back on to speech and OT, and we don't have a referral for a neurologist. I don't know if or when that will happen. I'm just not sure at this point. Patty and Kelly both agree on sensory processing disorder, but they also think that she has apraxia and that's the cause. They don't think she's autistic. They think it's apraxia, which can also affect, you know, other areas, is how Kelly explained it, that if she has apraxia, her sensory issues would make so much more sense. But it's still the thing of Abrielle cannot be tested for apraxia yet. She's just too young. She doesn't have enough of a vocabulary. It's an oral exam. It's repetition. It's just, she's not at a stage where she can be tested and it be confirmed. It's just a suspected thing is what's on her record, I'm pretty sure is how it's worded, or possible, or whatever. I don't know. So that's what's going on with her. Talking about like school, because I kind of mentioned that briefly. Sam started this semester at community college with me, and he did both online and on campus. I did online, and I shouldn't have. I don't know how else to say it except to go ahead and just tell it like it is. I originally had planned to take this semester off to kind of reevaluate what I wanted to do with my degree and stuff, and then I decided to go ahead and do it because I'm so close to finishing and having my degree that this semester was all I needed. And then things just started going wrong. We got down to one vehicle. Abrielle had all these appointments, different doctors, started therapy, needed extra attention at home. Sam's work and school schedule got kind of crazy trying to figure it all out and make it happen, and there just wasn't time left for me to study and to do my schoolwork and make the kind of grades that I want to make and that I know I can make. Like, I was just halfway doing my homework because I had no time to do anything else. It was like, literally, it became sleep or do my homework. And I can't function off no sleep. And certainly if Abrielle has an appointment that I have to take her to, it's not safe for me to drive and not have gotten any sleep the night before. So I wound up going in and talking to counselors, sitting down and kind of talking about my options, because I've just really gotten myself in a pickle with school, and it's bad, you guys. Like, I hate to admit that I've let it get this bad, but I have. I'm just really messed up. I've just lost my focus, and I just need a break. I just need some time to reevaluate, and I need time to get other things on track in my life. So I wound up dropping all but one of my classes. I had one independent study where I didn't have deadlines every week. I kept it, I completed it, and all the other classes I dropped. And currently I'm not enrolled for the spring. I'm not going to enroll for the spring. I don't even know if I will enroll for next fall. I don't know when I'll be ready to go back. I just know that right now it's not the time. It's just not the time, and I wish I would have listened to my instincts and to my heart and just not signed up for these classes and done this, because I've made the situation all that much worse. Because when I do decide to go back, I've got these withdrawn courses that look bad on me, and then I've got all these credit hours and no degree yet where I switched my major. I'm gonna have to go up against SAP, and it's just gonna be, it's probably gonna be a nightmare, and I'm gonna have to fight really hard to get back in and to get my scholarships back. But when that time comes, I'll fight, and I know it'll be okay. You know, the counselors there have really kind of assured me that, you know, I will be all right, and that under the circumstances, and considering I'll have plenty of, you know, documented proof about Abrielle's therapy and her conditions and stuff, that, you know, they're sure that the board will be understanding of my circumstances. So, you know, when that time comes, I'll just pray for that, and if they're not, then I guess that means that right then, right now, at that school wasn't meant to be. So it'll be okay. It's just kind of sad, I guess, for me. And it was really sad in ways admitting it to myself. Like, that was the hardest part, was admitting to myself that I had taken on more than I could handle and that I was drowning. That was what was really hard, because I don't like asking for help. I don't like admitting that I need help. And that was really a humbling experience, dealing with that and making those decisions that I made with school. So that was kind of how my school played out. Sam, on the other hand, his has been wonderful, and that was another reason that I decided that my school was just going to have to wait, was because Sam needs his school. He needs his school for our future plans and for when his contract is up and when it's time to re-enlist, and what he plans to do and where we want to be in the next, you know, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years in our lives, and to better off our lives, our family, his life, my life, the girls, and what we will leave behind for our children. So that's our main focus right now, in ways, is his school and with our children. Well, at least that's kind of my main focuses. So that's what's going on there with those issues. So talking about the car thing, back in May we traded in Sam's Chevy and we got a Pontiac. It's been nothing but great. We have had to get some work done on it recently. Just, you know, nothing huge, nothing, okay, kind of huge, kind of expensive. It was like rotors, and now there's something else that needs to be done, but it's going to have to wait until after the first of the year. So it's just been some things like that. And then with my car, I had some trouble with it back in the summer. I took it to my brother. He had it in his garage working on it, couldn't ever find anything, didn't ever do it again. And it came back over here, and I just kind of quit driving it for a variety of reasons. For one, I let my tags expire back in August, and I did that because that was right around the time that it had the issues, and it went to my brother's and he never found anything. And I thought, well, if it's over there in his garage not being driven, then it doesn't need the tags renewed. And I just kept pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back, for really no reason other than I just didn't want to deal with it, because we were already kind of considering selling the car, and I didn't see the point in renewing tags if I knew we were going to turn around and sell it. So that was one thing. And then the another thing is that car has been really expensive to own. It is expensive on insurance, and there are a few reasons why. For one, that car used to be a state trooper car, so on our insurance it's listed as a police interceptor, which makes it more expensive to cover it. And because of my driving record, because I have points on my license from an accident from a few years back that actually just now went off, but it was making it more expensive, and so we decided to sell the car, and we did sell the car, and that money went into fixing Sam's car and also for Christmas, which you will learn all about later. So that is the car situation, and if it sounds like I'm starting to pick up and try to talk faster, it's because I see my camera dying and I'm trying to get this done before it dies so I can hopefully get all these videos together. But essentially those have been like the major life events in going on in our lives, and there's a couple other things I want to talk about, but I'll talk about them at a later time because like I said, this thing's dying and I just want to get this done and kind of explain some things to you guys, and my voice is starting to go where I have been sick for like the last week with like sinus stuff, and it's not going to last much longer. It's getting froggy. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys in my next video about everything else, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas season, and I will see you guys later. Yeah, so bye guys.